and the stores are all closed. I've got a rip in my shirt and I'm trying to get home. The money I had was a fool's time to shine, and buy the whole bar around just before closing time. That ain't good tale I have that's worth being told. Starting with something in silver or gold. There are some things that can't be undone. It all happened once upon a bottle of rum. It all happened once upon a bottle of rum. I sailed off to find what I just hadn't found. Living my life in my little hometown. So I traveled the world singing songs to get by. Fell in love by the dozens on those hot island nights. Any good tale I have that's worth being told. Starting with something in silver or gold. There are some things that can't be undone. It all happened once upon a bottle of rum. It all happened once upon a bottle of rum. And I'm old and gray with my kids by my side. And they ask me about all the times of my life. I'll smile and I'll say that the things that I've done all happened once upon a bottle of rum. All happened once upon a bottle of rum.
You're listening to the Jams and Coffee Morning Show with your host, Brad Brock.
That's right. Good morning, Jammers. Welcome. Jams and Coffee Thursday morning, September 8th, 2022. We made it to another day. Another day. How exciting. How exciting. Oh, man. Thank you so much for joining me here on YouTube, Facebook, JNC Radio via the Live365 app. I appreciate you being here with me this morning. I will tell you it's not a very big news day, so I'm not sure how many stories I'll have for you, but the hotline is open. 772-888-1596. If you've got a story to tell, we'd love to hear it. Hope everybody enjoyed their Wednesday. Those of you that tuned in to the podcast yesterday, the Jams and Cocktails podcast, that is, thank you so much for that as well. We had a great time with the fellas from Hop Life Brewing. Philip chimed in over there on YouTube, said great show last evening. Enjoy the guys from Hop Life and learned more about them and their story. Fun show. Thank you so much, Philip, for tuning in. I appreciate that. They are great. The brand is awesome. And the people behind the brand are great as well. So it was fun. It's been a long time coming. We've worked with Hop Life on various projects for years now. In many different capacities. So it was fun to finally get them to come and be part of it. I've been harassing Rob for years now to come in and do a show with us. We finally got him out here, and had a great time. It was great to put them on the hot seat a little bit. So thanks again to Hop Life for coming out and celebrating National Beer Lovers Day. It was a good time. Drank a lot of beer. Yet I'm still here. I still managed to be here and get up and do it. Every day I question my efforts. But I kid. You guys, the weather out there this morning, the temperatures are in the upper 70s to low 80s around the Treasure Coast. Mainly dry for the first half of the day, but that dryness will creep into a wet afternoon. Highs will be in the low to mid-90s with afternoon and evening showers and storms firing up and continuing on through sunset. Tonight, the temperatures will be in the mid to upper 70s with only a few passing clouds, so it will clear up by the nighttime. Tomorrow, the highs will be in the low to mid-90s and afternoon storms bubbling up and starting off around the lake and pushing towards the coast. So I told you it was going to be a wet weekend. I wouldn't lie to you, if you could believe that. We do have a whole brand new set of national days today. Here we are on Thursday, September 8th, 2022. It's World Physical Therapy Day. Important. Recognizes, of course, the crucial contributions therapists make to society. The day aims to increase awareness of the benefits of physical therapy and the vast opportunities the profession offers. When injury or surgery sidetracks a person, they often receive a referral to a physical therapist, also known as a physiotherapist. This healthcare professional helps people regain mobility, manage pain, and recover more quickly. Along with helping adults, physical therapists work with children, including babies. Physical therapists can help babies attain gross motor skills. If a baby is diagnosed with a physical disability, mobility is affected. Physical therapists' training provides techniques that help improve movement and strength for the infant at every stage of growth. This is important for babies diagnosed with a disability that affects mobility. When working with adults, physical therapists can help prevent loss of mobility and recover from injury or illness. Physical therapists work in a variety of settings, including outpatient clinics, schools, nursing homes, and fitness centers. In the United States and around the world, physical therapists are in high demand. This occupation is in especially high demand in developing countries, since physical therapists understand body mechanics and health. Most advocate, yes, the English language is difficult here. Most advocate living a healthy lifestyle. We understand that exercise and movement are essential elements for preventing disease. So, World Physical Therapy Day, an important occupation. What else do we have today? A weird one. I actually made a video for it last year, but I'm so embarrassed by it, I probably won't play it for you. But it's World Ampersand Day, where we celebrate the fun and functional, curly, and quirky little character. A World Ampersand Day. From jotting a shorthand and to branding corporate names, this curvy, strange character is ubiquitously useful. It also is quite aesthetic, as you'll see at amperart.com, featuring the ampersand as fun and fabulous art. To acknowledge and applaud this great little glyph, World Ampersand Day is observed annually on September 8th. Did you know the ampersand used to be the last letter of the alphabet? I did not know that. It's a ligature of E and T. That's et in Latin, meaning, you may have guessed, and, of course. The word ampersand is a slurring of real words run together over time. Did you know the plus sign is actually an ampersand? Now you know. World Ampersand Day. What else is going on? It's International Literacy Day. Certainly has helped me. Of course, encouraging and supporting literacy everywhere. September 8th marks International Literacy Day, and the day focuses on the importance and value of literacy. The ability to read and write isn't only important for individuals, but society as a whole. Some say literacy is a matter of dignity and human rights. Literacy is also an essential foundation of education. The ability to read and write even increases life expectancy. Despite its importance, 775 million people across the globe are illiterate. About 2/3 of those who can't read are women. There are 155 million children around the world who are currently not attending school, and lack of school attendance is a significant indicator of a child's risk of being illiterate. World literacy rate is at 82%. In most countries, the literacy rate has plateaued. But around the world, communities, organizations, and governments celebrate literacy during Literacy Day. They also reflect upon the literacy challenges throughout the world. Globally, it's recognized that higher literacy rates equal increased poverty levels. The World Literacy Foundation dubbed International Literacy Day as the most important day on the calendar. I would agree, in some cases, in many cases, perhaps. It's also National Pediatric Hematology Nurse and Oncology Nurses Day, recognizing the hardworking and dedicated professionals bringing care to patients every day. Honoring nurses caring for pediatric hematology and oncology patients. The observance takes place during Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. These dedicated professionals provide quality nursing care for children, adolescents, and young adults with cancer and blood disorders. Additionally, they provide the highest standard of physical and emotional support to these most precious patients and their families. Cancer is frightening enough. When applied to children, pediatric care requires special skills and training. Not only do children relate to pain differently, their growing bodies require specialized attention. And these nurses provide valuable care and guidance to these families. From the first diagnosis and through each treatment, these experts in pediatric care offer untiring support. Day and night, the nurses answer questions, monitor, and track progress. Their knowledge of each patient's needs provides essential information to the entire team. Well, thank you to those nurses. Yes, that's anytime there are suffering children involved. I imagine that takes a special person to be able to do that. I'm not sure that I could. Not sure that I could. But those are your national days today. Get out there and celebrate in some fashion or another. And take a quick music break. When we got back, we got some stories for you. Not a lot, but interesting nonetheless. We're going to talk about a rare Florida snake, and it has photos. So if you're easily squeamish, I would tell you it's going to be graphic. But I'll warn you again before before I just throw it up there for you. Promise. You are listening to Jams and Coffee in the morning. Stick around. We'll be right back. welcome back to Jams and Coffee here in the morning. It was Matt Ingram with So Far. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, and listening in on JNC Radio on the Live365 app. Hotline's open, 772-888-1596 to get you on the air. Had an interesting story here. Shocking. If you are squeamish about snakes, I would advise you to avert your eyes. Turn that phone over. You can still listen. It's an interesting story. Apparently, a rare Florida snake was found dead after choking on a giant centipede. A real case of your eyes being bigger than your stomach. The rimrock crowned snake is the rarest snake in North America. And scientists hadn't glimpsed one in the wild in more than 4 years. But when one of the elusive snakes recently turned up in a state park in Florida, the sighting wasn't a happy one. The snake was a corpse in a gruesome wildlife death scene. A visitor to the John Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park in Key Largo found the dead snake on February 28th. He had choked on a giant centipede that was still lodged partway down its gullet. The centipede, which had been swallowed headfirst, was also deceased. While this grisly tableau suggests that the snake perished while choking on the monstrous meal, the centipede was about 1/3 the size of its predator. It's also possible that the snake succumbed to a lethal dose of the centipede's venom. It was suggested by researchers in a new study published online Sunday, September 4th, in the journal Scientific Naturalist. The rimrock crown snake are non-venomous and have black heads and pinkish tan bodies that measure 6 to 11 inches long, and they are found only in the Florida Keys and along the state's southeastern Atlantic coast, according to the University of Florida's Department of Wildlife, Ecology, and Conservation. The snakes have been on the state's list of threatened species since 1975. The last living specimen was spotted in 2015, while the last recorded sighting was a dead individual that had been killed by a cat in 2018. Lead study author Kevin Eng, an associate research scientist with Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, had said, Let's take a little look, shall we? Again, warning, these are graphic. So that's a little diagram there of what it looked like. He tried it, though. Little snake tried it. According to Ang, rimrock crown snakes have never been easy to find on Key Largo or elsewhere, as these small burrowing snakes spend most of their time hiding under leaf litter or in soil pockets, and are typically only seen after heavy rains force them to the surface. For snake lovers who keep a species life list, this is the holy grail in Florida. Most snake hunters have never seen one despite weeks of searching. When the park visitor found the dead snake, which measured about 8 inches long, the reptile's mouth was gaping wide, and the back end of a 3-inch long juvenile Caribbean giant centipede was hanging out, protruding about 1 inch. Park rangers then contacted scientists with the Florida Museum of Natural History in Gainesville, who brought the snake and centipede to the museum's herpetology collection. There, researchers preserved and analyzed the pair, hoping that the specimens united in death would reveal clues about the snake's habits and biology. As a snake biologist in Florida, this finding was extremely exciting, said co-author Coleman Sheehy. A great name. He was a researcher and collection manager at the FMNH. We have 15 preserved Tantilla olytica specimens at the Florida Museum, which is half of all the known specimens of this species known anywhere. We also have the holotype and paratype specimens, which are the specimens on which the original species description is based. However, we do not have any specimens like this that died while eating prey. And I don't think anybody else does either. While this finding is extremely rare, even for common species of snakes, she said, in our collection, I think we may have 2 other snake specimens of other species that died while eating prey. To learn more about what exactly killed the snake, the scientists used enhanced computed tomography, or CT scans, to peer inside the animal and visualize its last meal without physically damaging the specimen. It was unknown how long the snake had been lying on the path after it died, but the soft tissue was still intact and in good condition, revealing an unexpected wealth of detail. The trachea was so well preserved that we could actually see what parts along its length contained air and what parts were occluded. Their scans revealed that the snake's trachea was compressed and may have been obstructed, possibly leading to asphyxiation. According to the scientists, snakes frequently swallow large prey and can vomit it back up if necessary, but in this case, it's likely that the orientation of the numerous legs of the centipede made it difficult to regurgitate quickly. Another possible cause of death may have been a venomous sting from the oversized front legs of the dying centipede during its journey down the snake's throat. When the study authors examined the scans, they detected a wound that was barely visible externally but showed more damage internally. While this injury on its own wouldn't have been life-threatening, it may have delivered enough venom to be fatal. However, it's also possible that the snake was wounded prior to swallowing the centipede, and the venom did not prevent it from doing its meal. If this scenario is correct, it would suggest that the species has some resistance to centipede toxins. An adaptation that scientists have suspected but have not confirmed. This fluke finding of a freshly dead, intact specimen on the surface provided a rare opportunity to do some detective work using state-of-the-art science. We were able to get a good idea of what killed this rare snake, which probably could not have been ascertained by dissection. So, interesting stuff. Nature. Nature is bizarre. It's bizarre out there. Local news here going on in Stewart, and I'm all about it. A grassroots group, including a lawyer and a pastor, is working to bring the city's first skate park to the East Stewart area, something proponents say could help youths stay out of trouble and bring people together. The efforts appear to be in the early stages, and at least 2 Stewart city commissioners report being open to the notion in the Guy Davis Park area, where Stewart officials are planning multi-million-dollar improvements. Attorney Jordan Show said kids in this neighborhood need something to do. There's not a lot of options if you're growing up here to go do an activity and walk there. This is an area that we love, that we believe can use a little something for kids to be able to do. Show and other supporters spoke about the skate park idea at New Birth Community Outreach Church on Southeast Tarpon Avenue, just north of the Guy Davis Park, along Southeast 10th Street. It's where Show attends church and where Vincent Polk is pastor. Polk said, I think it'd be great, something new. It'll give people some type of a fresh idea to try something new instead of hanging around. I think that'd be positive. Community. The city's Community Redevelopment Agency in September 2019 presented a conceptual plan of improvements regarding the Guy Davis Park area to the East Stewart community. City Record show Calvin Giordano and Associates, headquartered in Fort Lauderdale, was hired to design improvements at the park. And report earlier this year, the firm noted that in a survey of 327 people, the top 3 components were identified as bathrooms, walking, hiking, and biking trails, festivals, and community events. A number of existing ball fields, including a track, are in the Guy Davis Park area. Also part of the skate park effort is Teague Lesser, owner of local business 561 Skateboarding, and his friend Jermaine Cooper. Lesser remembered attending Stewart Middle School and seeing the Stewart Hornets Pop Warner football team. He wondered about a similar initiative. He said it was amazing to see how dedicated these kids were to that team, and it came from this community. He said, I can imagine having an after-school program every day where we hook these kids up with boards. There are skate parks in unincorporated Martin County, such as the Pat Mark Rio Jensen Skate Park, but none within walking distance of East Stewart. Lesser said skating kept him out of trouble for years, and he hopes to see the same excitement he had when he first started. He said, I'd love to see all these kids pushing around the neighborhood on skateboards. It would be epic. Polk said a skate park could bring together kids of different cultures and build community between cultures. Cooper said skateboarding could provide instant mentorship, and people like himself, Lester Show, and others could take these young kids under their wing and just give them a positive vibe to go off of every day. Cooper said he's from Port Salerno, but living in Port St. Lucie, said before he moved to the area, he started skateboarding in Fort Lauderdale, connecting with older kids there to do so. They kept me out of trouble and just kept me skateboarding, he said. I moved here, met Teak, and as we got older, we became mentor of kids. I think it's a swell idea. To give kids anything to do that isn't just causing mischief, or roaming the city and roaming the streets. I know when I was growing up in this area, we had tons of stuff. Believe it or not, some may look back and be like, "Oh, we had nothing. We had our Thunder skating rink. Yes, I'm old enough to remember skating rinks. But that was a great ability for kids to come together, do some skating. There was an arcade in there, of course. It was a wonderful time. The ballpark was thriving. That was something to do on some nights. I feel like we had more local community sports teams back then. We also didn't have any handheld devices. Certainly not ones that were as convenient or state of the art, if you will. We were still rocking the Game Boy Classics. I don't even think I had a Game Boy Color. So we had those types of things, but yeah. Got to get those kids out there. Skate park, let's do it, East Stewart. Come on, get it together. Right? Philip said anything to help keep kids' minds busy and learn to socialize rather than to get into mischief and cause neighborhood troubles. I agree. I was just mentioning, I don't know if was this on the air last night? I don't remember if we were talking about it afterwards, but there's a lot of home construction happening around various Port St. Lucie neighborhoods. And the kids, man, they have nothing better to do. So you just, now that school's back in, you just see them walking from their bus or, walking home from school, whatever. They're just kind of have their backpacks on and they're roaming the street, And if they don't just love tipping over porta potties, I don't know. I don't know what the appeal is. Kind of makes me want to do it myself just so I could be in the know. Be hip, I suppose. But oh boy, these little 3-foot children, they get that thing rocking and down it goes. I would certainly hate to have to be the guy that has to come and clean that up after an incident like that. My goodness. But yeah, things like that, Philip. Let's give them a skate park instead of them tipping over porta potties because they're that bored. I agree. Give them knitting classes, something. My goodness. The world's second largest movie theater chain and owner of Regal Cinemas, Cineworld Group, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Sign of the times. We'll see. The British company, which owns more than 500 movie theaters across the United States, said that it commenced Chapter 11 proceedings in the United States Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of Texas to shed a company debt. It also expects the action will strengthen its balance sheet and provide the financial strength and flexibility to accelerate and capitalize on Cinema World's strategy in the cinema industry. The company added that it has access to nearly $2 billion in financing from existing lenders to keep operating. Cineworld also said that the filing that it expects to operate its global business in cinemas as usual throughout this process. The company warned last month that a voluntary Chapter 11 filing was one of the options it was reviewing to reduce its debt. We have an incredible team across Cineworld, laser focused on evolving our business to thrive during the comeback of the cinema industry. According to Mookie Gradinger, Cineworld CEO, in a statement he made on Wednesday, the pandemic was an incredibly difficult time for our business, and enforced closure of enforced closure of cinemas and a huge disruption to film schedules that led us to this point. It was rough. It was rough for everybody, but particularly rough for cinemas. Gradinger added that the bankruptcy filing is part of our ongoing effort to strengthen our financial position and is in pursuit of a deleveraging that will create more resilient capital structure and effective business. This will allow us to continue to execute our strategy to reimagine the most immersive cinema experiences for our guests through the latest and most cutting-edge screen formats and enhancements to our flagship theaters, he added. Our goal remains to further accelerate our strategy so we can grow our position as the best place to watch a film. Like many theaters, Cineworld has struggled during the pandemic, which devastated the industry and is still impacting exhibition. The global health crisis caused theaters around the world to close. The company lost $2.7 billion in 2020 rather, and another $566 million in 2021. The economics have improved for theaters, but a return to normal is still far off. The domestic box office rebounded this summer thanks to big hits like Top Gun Maverick and Jurassic Park Dominion, as well as smaller hits like Elvis and The Black Phone. Yet, movie attendance has dried up in recent weeks amid a dearth of new films and supply chain issues hitting Hollywood, and many features going straight to streaming. Always an evolution for our entertainment, huh? Interesting. Curiouser and curiouser. I'm going to take a quick music break. When we come back, Delta Airlines has a new experience for you. You all know how I feel about Delta. Maybe this will change things. But it's not likely. But you're listening to Jams and Coffee in the Morning. We'll be right back.
I'm afraid of heartbeats, not the rhythm, it's the rest. 'Cause it sounds just like a ticking clock, but it's beating out your chest. But I'm not scared of yours, I just crave your evermore. Yeah, I want you for me. Oh, and I wanna know every part of your soul, all the stories you tell me until we grow old. Oh, and I wanna be broken, not the kept. Because I'm afraid of houses that are built just to be left. But I'd build one with you if you'd promise to be true. Yeah, I want you for me. Oh, and I wanna know every part of your soul, all the stories you tell me until we grow old. Oh, and I wanna be the wind in your sails. I will cure all that ails you, fix all that fails you. And I wanna know all the secrets you keep. Please drag me below, drag me to the deep. I'm afraid of heartbeats. I'm afraid of heartbeats. I'm afraid of heartbeats. I'm afraid of heartbeats. Oh, and I wanna know every part of your soul, all the stories you'll tell me until we grow old. Oh, and I wanna be the wind in your sails. I will cure all that ails you, fix all that fails you. And I wanna know all the secrets you keep. Please drag me below, drag me to the deep. I'm afraid of heartbeats. I'm afraid of heartbeats. I'm afraid of heartbeats. I'm afraid of heartbeats.
All right, that's Summer Gill with Heartbeats. And we're back here, Jams and Coffee in the morning. Thank you for tuning in. YouTube, Facebook, JNC Radio on the Live365 app. Phone lines open, 772-888-1596 will get you on the air. Delta Airlines. They'll try anything, won't they? Listen. I know you've been waiting for this. I know that every day you will wake up and say, man, I wish that I could fly with the Jonas Brothers. Well, now you really can fly with the Jonas Brothers. In fact, the singers have teamed up with Delta Airlines for a unique concert viewing experience. Starting in October, passengers flying on Delta will be able to tune in to the Joe Bros concert at Madison Square Garden, which took place this summer, and relive the hype from Delta Studios. The concert features the Jonas Brothers performing their biggest hits to an intimate audience of Tri-State and Sky Miles members. Official press release proclaims adding passengers can enjoy a concert in a never-before-experienced way. The trio performed their greatest hits during the show, including Sucker and SOS, while Nick and Joe Jonas performed a medley of songs with their bands. The June concert was open to select Sky Miles members who were able to redeem miles for tickets. The release continues, of course. The show benefited a Make-A-Wish Foundation, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, not a. The 45-minute experience was produced in tandem with MSG, and this marks the first time Delta will air an exclusive concert film, and the press release hints more collaborations with MSG are on the way. If you want to catch this exclusive performance, you better hurry, though. Delta will stop airing Jet Set with the Jonas Brothers in January. 45 minutes, huh? I don't know what flight takes only 45 minutes. Hey, you can't fault them for trying. You know, they won't get your luggage there on time, but by God, you're going to get the Jonas Brothers. Oh, crazy. Got some celebrity birthdays, speaking of celebrities. Yeah, Delta. Delta. It's a don't ever leave the airport. Yep. I always say Delta means don't expect luggage to arrive. That's been my actual experience with Delta through the years. It's always been a ongoing struggle with them. But now we have the Jonas Brothers, Philip, so fear not. Let's fly Delta. Celebrity birthdays. Gaten Matarazzo. Best recognized, of course, as Dustin Henderson in the Netflix series Stranger Things, is turning 20 years old today. Happy 20th birthday to Gaten. He's also been seen on the Broadway stage in Les Mis and Priscilla, doing big things. Turning 43 years old, Alicia Beth Moore, better known as Pink, celebrating her birthday today. She's, of course, an R&B and pop singer whose collaborative rendition of Lady Marmalade rose to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earned her a Grammy Award. But she's got 1 billion hits to date. Becoming known for his hit song Black and Yellow, which was a jam. Turning 35 years old today is Wiz Khalifa. Yeah, Black and Yellow, of course, reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, and he won a Billboard Music Award for Top New Artist back in 2012. Happy birthday, Wiz Khalifa. He's a young buck at 35, but this next guy is not so spry any longer. He was elected a U.S. Senator from Vermont back in 2007. He previously represented Vermont in the House of Representatives from 91 to 2007. And he's actually the longest-serving independent in U.S. congressional history. Of course, we all know he launched a campaign for the 2016 presidential election, asking others to join him in a political revolution. Unfortunately, he didn't get very far. You gotta love his tenacity. He gave it a really good try. He was the first independent in a very long time that actually had a chance, but politics will be on a different show. I certainly have my opinions, but I don't want to ruin anybody's day. Turning 51 years old today is Martin Freeman. Of course, he's an actor best known for his role as Bilbo Baggins in the Peter Jackson's Hobbit films. He also starred in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and in the 2000 film Love Actually. 2014, he began playing Lester Nygaard on the FX series Fargo. He also appeared in Marvel's Black Panther. Martin Freeman, 51. Turning 41 years old today, are you ready to have a heart attack? Is JTT, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, turning 41 years old today. Of course, we all know that he played Tim Allen's TV son, Randy Taylor, on the popular show Home Improvement, before leaving in 1998 to focus on his academics. He's been in several films, certainly the heartthrob, or a heartthrob of the early 90s. 41 years old today. Turning 51 years old today, actor, director, and pro wrestler who starred in Wild Bill, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Scream, David Arquette. Other notable films include Hamlet 2, The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, Eight-Legged Freaks, and 3,000 Miles to Graceland. Happy birthday, all you knucklehead celebrities out there. You guys ready for another really fun story? This one will blow your mind. I have photos too, so also don't be offended. That's my disclaimer. Leave it to the ancient Romans to be obsessed with wieners. That's what this story is all about. This story is about an ancient Roman penis sculpture and it could perhaps be the largest of its kind ever discovered. You heard it right. A girthy stone penis sculpture recently uncovered at an ancient Roman site in Spain measures about 18 inches long. I don't know if I can read the story. It measures about 18 inches long. Which could make it the largest Roman phallus carving ever discovered. Who wrote this? The chiseled genitals may have been carved and displayed to ward off bad luck, according to experts. Archaeologists uncovered the lengthy sculpted shaft. Oh my God, I'm a teenager. I can't. At El Higueron, a site near the town of Nueva Cartella in the Cordoba region of Spain, the historical museum. The historical museum of Nueva Cartella, which is leading the excavation site, shared the find in an August 19th Facebook post. El Higueron dates to the 4th century BC. It was originally an Iberian settlement before it was overtaken and built upon by the Romans, who conquered the region in 206 BC. Researchers suspect that the eye-catching penis artwork that was carved into a stone that was once proudly displayed at the base of a tower built by the Romans. You guys want to see it? Oh my God. Let's get rid of the snake. Here we go. There you go. There it is. How about that? Probably going to get banned for this. Phalli were an important symbol in ancient Roman culture. They're often used to ward off bad luck, or to help improve virility. As a result, phallus carvings are commonly found at ancient Roman sites. However, the newly uncovered phallus has raised some eyebrows among researchers due to its above-average size. This one is unusually large. Andreas Diaz, an archaeologist at the University of Extremadura in Spain and the director of Historical Museum of Nueva Cartella, told Spanish news outlet El Pai. We are currently researching whether one of the similar dimensions has been previously found. However, this could be the largest Roman phallus ever found. Phalli are believed to have been important to the Romans because of their supposed ability to ward off the evil eye, an ancient embodiment of bad luck that is often depicted as a large unblinking eye. As a result, phalli were often carved on the exteriors of buildings and around windows and doors. It even appeared as a design motif in public meeting places. According to Adam Parker, a doctoral candidate at the Open University in the United Kingdom, who studies Roman phalli. Oh my God, guys. He wrote, in the Roman psyche, these spaces were particularly at risk from supernatural dangers because meeting and crossing places where people naturally interacted. The malignant forces of the evil eye were thought to be particularly powerful there. Brian, you guys. I did not proof this story before I put it. Woo! In addition, phalli were often worn as pendants or jewelry in an attempt to improve virility and fertility. In June, metal detectorists in the UK uncovered a silver penis pendant, which is a particularly valuable example of these erotic amulets. And it likely had an affluent owner. It's unclear exactly how many phallus carvings have been discovered to date in regions that were once colonized by the Roman Empire, but at least 92 examples of carved genitals have been unearthed in the UK alone. Objects in this collection range from a simple phallus carved into a millstone to a winged penis made out of animal bone. However, these phallic images were not always created with beneficial intentions. In May, researchers at a Roman fort near Hadrian's Wall in the UK unearthed a stone slab adorned with penis graffiti, paired with an explicit insult thought to have been etched by soldiers to shame a fellow brother in arms. The El Higueron carving is not the only noteworthy find to be uncovered there. Researchers previously found that Roman fortifications at the site, the phallus-bearing tower, and 6-foot-thick perimeter wall were built on top of existing Iberian buildings, which is unusual according to El Pai. This unorthodox building activity at El Higueron, combined with the potentially record-breaking phallus, highlights a much more complex history than one would expect from these archaeological sites. Thank God that story's over. I'm a child. My goodness. I needed that today, though. Wow, laughed my ass off. That was brilliant. All right, you guys. We're going to get to the top 10 and shameless plugs, and I'm going to let you get on with your day. Let's do that. What have we got today? The truth is, you guys, people love mystery. They usually get their dose of the unknown through movies or books. Others might become fans of a particular YouTube channel that delves into unsolved mysteries, both old and recent. Or some may even search the dark corners of the web for something strange, almost forbidden, to feed their quest to know. Regardless, we continue to seek the answers to one mystery after another. Some mysteries are cool, others are creepy. And then there are those decidedly shady ones that could be solved if only those who knew the truth would emerge from the shadows and speak up. So here are 10 of those unsolved mysteries right here in the JNC Top 10. Number 10 on the list. I'm still recovering from the phallus talk. It was a beautiful day in Frauenfeld, Switzerland, February of 2022. A 38-year-old man and his 2 children decided to take a leisurely walk. Accompanying them was an acquaintance of the family. As they strolled along, the unnamed man suddenly experienced a sharp pain in his lower body. He couldn't find the source of it, and the group headed to the emergency room of the nearest hospital. There, doctors informed him that he had suffered a gunshot wound. But neither the patient nor the doctor could figure out how the bullet entered his body. The bullet was removed and the man was discharged. Police initiated an investigation, but since there were no firearms to examine and no witnesses who heard a gunshot or saw a gunman, it seems like this strange case might never be solved. The working theory at the moment is that the man may have been accidentally hit by a stray bullet shot from a very long distance. But it doesn't explain how there was no wound. Strange. Number 9 on the list. In July 2022, just a few short months ago, a woman picked up a rental car from a go-kart depot and drove toward the village of Mullinavat in South County, Kilkenny, Ireland. It was only a 5-mile drive, but a strange smell permeated the car soon after she set off. Opening the windows didn't help, so she stopped to investigate. Opening the trunk, to her absolute shock and horror, she found a decomposing body inside. The matter was reported to the police, and it was soon discovered that the body belonged to a 40-year-old man from Waterford. He had been reported missing 2 weeks earlier. It's also believed that the man he had rented the vehicle immediately before the woman who'd found his body. There is an investigation into the tragedy. It's still ongoing. Number 8 is, imagine you're going over your CCTV footage and see a character straight out of an episode of Black Mirror staring right back at you. In March of 2021, a person wearing a white mask with holes for eyes and nose showed up at a house in South Carolina. He was captured on CCTV, and the family inside was incredibly spooked by the image. The photo was posted on social media. Almost immediately, there were comparisons between this creepy person and the infamous Slender Man, a tall, pale, suit-wearing individual from popular urban legend. Police investigated the incident, but nothing has come of the investigation yet. Spooky, 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 spooky. Number 7 on the list. The so-called Jetpack Man was first spotted by pilots near the Los Angeles International Airport back in 2020. Since then, there have been multiple sightings, one of them a mere 300 feet away from the wing of a commercial plane. No one has ever come forward to claim responsibility, and in June 2022, there was yet another sighting of a figure wearing a jetpack near LAX. Air traffic control has been quoted as saying, We heard that the Jetpack Man is back. I have a report of a jetpack 4,500 feet over a gate in the section, which is about 6 miles east of your present position here. There are previously released images that depict an inflatable balloon in the shape of Jack Skellington, which has been touted as a possible explanation for the Jetpack Man sightings, but this theory has yet to be confirmed. Is it a real person? The world may never know. Number 6. It's an unfortunate fact that some people find it funny to talk loudly about planes crashing while traveling in an airplane. Someone took things to a whole new level, however, when they sent several passengers on an Andola jet plane images of crashing planes on their cell phones. The plane was on the verge of taking off for Turkey, but the captain made the decision to return to the gate out of fear for the passenger's safety. The incident was reported to airport security, who took the necessary measures to ensure everyone on board was safe. This included a re-inspection of passengers and luggage. The photos were apparently sent using the airdrop function available on Apple smartphones, and they were likely sent by one of the passengers themselves, but the identity of that person is still unknown. Ah, you son of a bitch. Before the clown sighting hysteria of 2016, you guys remember that? Creepy images of a clown on a hiking trail made the headlines in 2010. A clown dressed in a two-tone clown suit and wearing a strange expression on his painted face is seemingly peering at the camera, snapping a picture of him, trying to get a closer look. The second photograph, the clown is almost right up against the lens. It's believed that the two photos of this scary clown were taken by a trail camera in the thick of the forest. And even though it is highly likely that the whole thing was staged, it remains unclear why exactly someone would go through all that trouble. Also, nothing that would solidify this theory has ever been confirmed. Number 4 on the list. All the way back in 2019, seems like a lifetime ago, unidentified swarms of drones seemingly stalked U.S. Navy vessels off the coast of Southern California on more than one occasion. The Navy investigated the incidents but were unable to identify the drones or who may have operated them. Documents released at the end of 2021 revealed the drones kept coming even after the start of the Navy investigation and continued through July of 2019. At one point, 3 different ships reported seeing multiple drones at the same time. There was no option to shoot down these drones because the onboard weapons would not be able to hit targets as small as these objects. It still remains a mystery as to what the drones were after and who was behind the incident. Next on the list, number 3, known as the American Stonehenge, the Georgia Guidestone stood in Elbert County, Georgia from 1980 to 2022. Those who created the monument were of the belief that the stones would serve as a guide to the survivors who would inhabit the world after calamity struck, possibly in the form of nuclear or economic destruction. Some of the inscriptions on the stones were instructions to maintain the population under 5 billion to keep in balance with nature. The Guidestones soon became the center of wacky conspiracies, the craziest of which suggested that it was somehow connected to dark rituals performed by Satanists. And on July 6th, 2022, the monument was severely damaged in a bombing. And later that day, it was completely dismantled. At the time of this writing, it remains unknown who bombed the Georgia Guidestones. There's already debate about whether the structure should be rebuilt. Number 2 here on the list. On March 8th, 2014, Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 lost contact with ground control less than an hour after takeoff, after which it was manually diverted from the scheduled flight plan. The waters of the South China Sea were fine-combed in the ensuing search before the attention of the investigators turned to the Indian Ocean. 2015 and 2016, large pieces of debris washed ashore on Reunion Island, and off the coast of Mozambique. Finally, at the beginning of 2017, the official search for the aircraft ended. Despite multiple theories, including conspiracies and questionable eyewitnesses, we still don't know exactly what happened to the plane. Retired British aerospace engineer Richard Godfrey is widely credited with having the most credible story or idea about the tragedy, namely that it was hijacked by the captain. Godfrey also believes that the Malaysian government is still withholding key pieces of information that could solve the mystery once and for all. Furthermore, he claimed to know exactly where the missing plane is, but stated there are those who don't want it found. Ocean Infinity, a marine robotics company, announced in 2022 that they'll launch a new search starting in early 2023 with the help of Godfrey in the hopes of finally locating what's left of the plane. And finally, here on the list, on March 4th, 2022, a rocket body, first observed by astronomers late in 2021, collided with the moon. Did you all hear about this? I didn't hear about this. Shortly after, NASA's reconnaissance orbiter spotted the crash site on the surface of the moon, which consists of a double crater more than 90 feet. These craters are thought to be evidence that the rocket body had large masses at each end. There was some speculation at the time that the rocket had been launched from China, but the country's officials deny this. Rocket bodies hitting the moon is nothing new, considering that at least 47 NASA rockets have already done so. However, the double crater is what's still puzzling scientists because no other rocket body has ever left such a crater behind before. The bigger question remains, though, who launched the rocket? The world may never know. And that has been the JNC Top 10. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yes. Shameless plug time. If you're on the Treasure Coast, come and see me tonight at Manatee Island in Fort Pierce. Weather permitting, of course. It's not supposed to be nice later. And while they do provide cover, it's the load in and the load out that become troublesome for me. And there's some flooding issues. So if the weather's bad, I will likely not perform. But if it's nice, come and see me. I'll be there 5:30 to 8:30 tonight. I know I mentioned it a lot, but go and get the Live365 app. I know most of you tuning in right now have gotten it already. It's a great radio app. You'll find our radio station on there, JNC Radio. Listen to it all the time, 24 hours a day. Love that. You catch this show and other stuff, including great music and great local music on that station. So check it out. There's more to come on that as well. Please go and check out our later this afternoon. The re-upload for the Jams and Cocktails podcast will be up. The audio will be wherever you listen to your podcast. We had a great time with Hop Life Brewing last night. Funny guys and really, really just grassroots beer brewing. And I love it. You know, they're out. They work hard. They work so hard. Rob, for God's sake, retired, and then went right full time into beer brewing. So it's a great product. Check out all their offerings. If you're local here, stop in and have a beer at their beautiful tap room. I'll be there this Friday night. In fact, tomorrow night, performing. And they have all kinds of offerings. It's a great podcast. Check it out. It'll be a good time. Goodness, man, I got that penis story really got me. La 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 la. Philip said he listened to the station as he mowed the grass yesterday. It's a great grass mowing station. Nobody mows their grass more often than I do, so I can attest. I listen to that. I listen to Paul's podcasts, catch up, other podcasts. Good time. What else? Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook. But most importantly, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really goes a long way. We have a long way to go to get that channel where we want it. We need 1,000 subscribers just to do anything. Otherwise, we're just putting videos up. So subscribe. It costs you nothing. Just, maybe some harassing notifications that we're doing stuff. But yeah, check out our friends at Code Rum, Hop Life Brewing, the Sneaky Tiki in downtown Stewart, and of course Paul from the Drums and Rums podcast. Check out all of his stuff. He'll be going live tonight, 8 p.m. If I don't get to play music, I'll probably be chiming in on the chats as well. So check out his live stream tonight, the biggest happy hour in a half hour. And check out all our websites, jncpodcast.com, bradbrock.com. And find out a little bit more about moi. But yeah, I think I'm going to send you guys on your way. I know it's a little early today. I got tons of stuff to do. Not that anything is more important than this. But I do appreciate you hanging out with me this morning and every morning here on Jams and Coffee. My name's Brad. Join me tomorrow, 8 a.m. for another episode and another fun discussion of news, pop culture, and music. Until then, take care of yourselves. Drink some water. Stay hydrated. It's hot out there. Love you guys. Have a good day.
Tune in again tomorrow morning for the latest local buzz, national headlines, music news, and more on JNC in the Morning, right here on Facebook and YouTube.